In this video we will see if we can make a song using only the dark swarm sound in Ableton Live 11 Lite. Welcome to Ableton Live 11 Lite. Here you can see the interface. So today we're going to make a simple song using only one sound. Ableton Live 11 Lite is a stripped down, simplified version of Ableton, often given away with music interfaces. So it has fewer sounds and limitations on the number of tracks you can use. So the goal of this video is to see if we can make something worth listening to using only a single sound. So we'll begin by removing these audio tracks, right-clicking and clicking delete. Okay, so we're left with two MIDI tracks. So the sound we're using in this video is called Dark Swarm. So we go up to the left hand side under Sounds and then click Ambient and Evolving, and the third one down is called Dark Swarm. And you can hear the sound playing there. You can click this headphone icon to mute the sound or to bring the preview back. And then to use this sound we left click and drag onto the clip we're going to use. And you can see Dark Swarm is loaded in down here. So in order to create sounds we need MIDI files, MIDI information. So we double click on the clip. That creates a new MIDI clip. Here's the MIDI interface. So you can see we have the piano roll here. We can click the headphones and preview the different sounds. We're going to use the scale of C major in this example. So if you click on Scale, C major, and that will highlight the notes in the C major scale. Here we've got the length of the loop. We're going to do a 4-bar turnaround. So we're going to use 4 chords, and then the 4-chord pattern will keep on repeating. So the 4-chord pattern we're going to use in this example uses the 1, 4 and 5 chords, and it also uses a first inversion of the 1 chord. If this is confusing for you, then check out our video on 1, 4, 5 chord progressions using major chord inversions, and it'll all be explained. So the chords we need are the C chord, the F chord and the G chord. So let's begin with the C chord, which is the 1 chord. To enter the notes you just double click. We'll scroll down to have it in a lower octave. So the C chord has the notes C, E and G. So we'll double click on C, move up to E, and then finally G. And then if we left click, drag and highlight our notes, and then when this little arm appears we can click and drag to the right. And so that's a bar. So we've got a chord of C playing for a bar here. For our next bar, we want the chord of C again. We will be changing this to a first inversion, but to begin, let's copy what we've already got. So we'll left click and drag and highlight. And then right click and select duplicate. And you can see we've got the same chord again for a bar. We'll come back to this in a moment, but for the moment we've got 2 bars of the chord of C. For the third bar, we're going to the chord of F, which is the 4 chord in the key of C. And the notes for F are F, A and C. There's F. A. And C. And then the final chord, the 5 chord, is G. So we need the notes of G, B, and D. Okay, so now we've got a 4-bar progression, 2 bars of C, a bar of F, and then a bar of G. So if we come up here to where our clip is, and you can see the color has been filled in, and there's a little play icon. Let's click play. Okay, so you can hear that pattern with the dark swarm sound. It's a turnaround in a key of C, and it will just keep looping and looping as long as we want. Let's click stop. So the one change we're going to make is on the second bar of C, we're going to turn this second C into a first inversion. So this will give us a slightly different effect in terms of bass notes. In order to do this, we need the E note to be the lowest note in this chord. So here's C, standard C, and you can see C2 is the lowest note in this chord. But we want E, which is here, to be the lowest note, so we're going to have to move this C, move it up. So if you left click on the note in question, and then you can use the up arrow on your keyboard. You can also click and drag, but let's use the up arrow on our keyboard. And you can see we're moving that note up. So we need C again, but we need it higher. And there we are. So you can see C3 is an octave above where it was before. And E is now the lowest note in that chord. So that's a C first inversion. So let's give it all a play. I mean, it's very distorted, interesting, but we're not tweaking any sounds. These are all default sounds in this. Okay. So now we've got a simple turnaround. Let's create a simple melody above this. Before we do that, you see here we've got this track pan knob. What we'll do is we'll pan those chords slightly to the left. There we are, 17 to the left. And we'll do the same again. So we'll drag the dark swarm onto the second MIDI clip. Pan this to the right, 17 to the right. You can see the dark swarm instrument is loaded, dark swarm sound. Double click, change the length to 4. And now we can create a melody over those chords. So we'll scroll up into the higher register here. So what There are two approaches here. You can either create the melody here on its own, or you can loop the chords and play over the top. So we'll start by playing the chords, and as that's playing we can create here. Just double clicking, you can change the length for notes. If we click play, can hardly hear it. Let's stop. Right, let's loop our melody track. Hardly audible. You'll see if we play the chords now. You can hardly hear the melody. These ambient and evolving sounds are generally for a background sustained note to give you a feeling of filling out your track. So that's why when you play the chord notes stacked on top of each other, they're very overwhelming. And when you play the high melody notes on their own, they don't provide much of they don't cut through. Just to give you an example here, if I double click on the clip below and just sustain a C2 note, you hear, so that's the point of these ambient sounds. It's something in the background to fill in. Single note sustained. So it's not great for creating a whole song, but the whole point of this is we're trying out each of the sounds. Can you make a song with them? So yes, you can make a song with the Dark Swarm sound, but it doesn't sound particularly good. You could just create a simple... It's possible to create a simple bass line just using single notes. Like this. At least you can appreciate how the Dark Swarm sound sounds. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to Songwriting Explained for more songwriting content. If you'd like some more Ableton Live 11 Lite videos, then check out the playlist on screen now.